Let's go fishing. Been super behind on editing. Life's been crazy. So this is from a good while ago when my buddy Slob Catching and I went out fishing. He was targeting carp and I was targeting catfish. We were fishing on a pier, so here you're seeing me get down to the bank so I can help him land his fish. This was the first fish on for the day. He had a great fight fighting this fish on his carp rod, and once we got it up on the pier, it turned out to be a great fish. Let's go, Slob. A nice carp on the bank. And this is my first time going live a while ago, so he wanted to show off on the camera. Always got to show off the catch. My boy Slob gets after this carp, and that is a nice carp for sure. And with no luck on my end, if there was a run on his rod, he would send me over to it to see if I can get a carp. And at this point, I still had not caught a sizable carp. So here I am checking the rod he told me to go look at, but the carp had dropped the rig. But not long after, the same rod started screaming, drag peeling. So he looked at me and was like, go get your carp. Shout out to Slob Catching for putting me onto carp fishing and putting me onto this carp this day. Thankfully, he was also coaching me through the process because I was super new to carp fishing at this time. So just tightening the drag and starting to get some more tension on the line before we started fighting the fish. And there we go, we know we got a fish on. So off to the side, he was actually running down to the bank to see if he could help me land this fish. We did not have a good net for the pier, so that'll have to do. And we were able to land the fish. Let's go. My first time catching a carp on a carp rig, and my first sizable carp. Look at that big fish. I was super stoked. So then of course, I had to hold it up for picture time. And it's a good fish when it doesn't fit in the frame of the GoPro. But thankfully we were able to get some good pictures. Those will come here soon. Got that carp on the scale, and look at that, almost an 11-pound carp. Now at the time, this was my first PB, and I was super hyped. What a beautiful fish. Shout out to Slob again. And not long after, one of my catfish rods started getting hit, so I went and checked it, but there was no fish on. And then not long after that, one of Slob's rods took off again. So I went to pick it up and started fighting the fish. And I knew what my job was. Get to the bank to net this fish. So here you're seeing me run down the pier. Apologies for the lack of lights, but we were fishing very early morning. But unfortunately, once I got down there, the fish had popped off. In fact, broke his line. So a little while later, as the sun came up, I decided to check my rods. With no fish on there, I decided to cast them back out there. Now I was just using chicken gizzards with Kool-Aid on them, and your typical catfish setup with a float and a weight. But once I got those set up, it was time to wait. But unfortunately, the fish did not want to bite it this time. Went over to check a rod that was starting to get hits, but with no fish. So Slob had to leave, but I ended up staying and meeting some cool people on the pier. This guy was super nice. We shared stories, passed around different baits and lures to try out. And not long after that, we had another hit, but with no fish, I decided to pick the rod up and try to toss it into a different spot. But unfortunately, there were no more fish caught for the day. Still an extremely hyped day. Getting back to doing some more editing, so stay tuned for more videos.